Ms. Gore, will you call the roll?
Mr. Benjamin?
Here.
Ms. Fletcher?
Present.
Ms. Williams?
Present.
Dr. Viop? Mr. Lamar?
Present.
Mr. Lamar, will you lead us in the pledge to the flag, and we'll remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Gore, do we have any citizens' comments? Thank you, Ms. Gore. All right, we'll move on to approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the May 20th, 2019 agenda?
So move.
One second.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Mr. Benjamin, seconded by Ms. Fletcher to approve the May 20th, 2019 agenda. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Let's move on to reports. Chairman's report, I have a short one. First of all, I just want to report to you that I was lucky enough to attend May 2nd Cinderella Kids at Arlington Middle School, which was a musical, and it was so much fun. Those kids are so talented. They were singing, dancing, there was comedians even, jokes. It was just a great night, and I had just the best time watching those kids. We have some really, really talented kids at Arlington Middle School, so that was a lot of fun. Just wanted to share that with you. And also, it's board member self-evaluation time. According to policy 1.103, our evaluation form should be given out in May. I will be getting those to you. And they will be due to the chairman of the board before 20 days before our next board meeting, which is June 25th. And I will get all that information to you and everything out to you. So I will have the lucky job again to tabulate those and write a report for you, but the report will not be given, as the policy says, until August. We will make sure all that information gets to you. Also, let me remind you that we did do a board self-evaluation in October the 23rd at 2018. So for your boardsman transcript where it says about this board self-evaluation, be sure and put your date October 23rd, 2018 on there, because that would be the last time that we were evaluated before we have to turn those in. All right, that concludes my report. Superintendent Mason.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. I have a couple items tonight. First of all, you have before you, I have put an update on the capital plan funding by Shelby County. We just received this, Ms. Roberts and I just received this last week. With the notification that we will be receiving, it's just a little under $300,000 for the month of May. You may recall the last time I reported to the board, they had put us on a quarterly schedule to update us. This most recent email we received last week, they're going to be sending us updates monthly now. So I think we're still getting traction from the commission in trying to make sure that we keep as current as possible with Shelby County. But you can see that if you look at that top, the top is the FY18 payments that was allocated. We're still due $240,000 from FY18, which was last school year. And you'll see for this year, FY19, which ends June 30th, our allocation, we still have a remaining balance of right at $3.5 million. So we're hoping that Shelby County has a lot of projects in the hopper right now, and it's going to get a lot done between now and June, and that we should be, from that email, we should be receiving another payment in June. So just wanted to update the board on where we are with the county commission funding. Also want to remind everybody that Wednesday is the middle school graduation for 8th graders. This year it's going to be at Faith Baptist at 10 o'clock. I think Mr. Benjamin has one that's going to be
Yes, I
walking
do.
across.
Yes, I do. Moving them on through.
Yeah, one out of high school, one in.
That's exactly.
There you go.
Keep coming.
I also wanted to update the board. We've been talking this year with our partnership with Southwest. Got some really exciting news. Mr. Goforth and Ms. Wyrick and I have been meeting with some of their leadership, and they have committed on a really exciting partnership. We're still working on what the partnership would look like, but they have committed to providing some equipment for our medical manufacturing machining program that we're looking at offering in 2021. Actually, today we toured the site with Mr. Rupp because we will be looking at, we have designated 2 rooms for that. And so we will continue to update you as we get more information together on that. That information that we started compiling today, and hopefully we'll have by the first week of June, will be information that the foundation will be starting on a capital campaign for our career and technical programs with a focus on our medical manufacturing. And so we should have more information on that in June, but really excited about that. Potentially, we've talked about becoming a satellite campus for Southwest, offering night courses in machining. So not only will our students be able to benefit from those courses during the day, at night some of our adult population can as well. And so really excited about that. And all those would be dual enrollment courses with assistance from Southwest for potentially adjunct professors as well as machining equipment. So really excited about that. We're still forming what that partnership will look like. And lastly, we will be, this week, the bids are due, excuse me, for the nutrition, for potentially outsourcing nutrition. You may recall that on Friday, there will be taste testing we talked about. Excuse me. They are setting that up at as early as 7 o'clock, but we invite you to come and do some taste testing. They should all be, we think they're all going to be set up by 9 o'clock in the morning, but they should be here between 9 and 11. So if you have some time, run by and take a look at whoever our finalist 3 will be. And then with that, thank you. With that, we will be making a recommendation to the board. I talked with Ms. Williams today, and we need to do that sooner rather than later. And so I am requesting that we call a special called meeting in early June, specifically for that purpose, for the board, for us to make a presentation to the board on recommending a particular vendor. And then if you all decide if you want to move forward with that or not. The date that I was looking at, and Ms. Williams and I agreed on, was June 4th, Tuesday, June 4th. So, Ms. Williams, I don't know how you want to handle that, if you want to poll the board or.
Any objection, or can y'all check your calendars,
I
or do you
won't
want me
be-
to get back to you?
I won't be here that day, but if I can do it remotely, I'm happy to remote in with you guys.
Are you okay, Ms. Fletcher?
I'm good.
You're good? I'm good too, so,
I mean, if I can dial in or.
okay. And I'll get with Dr. Viox and find out if he's available that date, and I'll just get
So
right
we'll
back
just
to
wait,
you.
we'll just wait to hear back from you then.
Okay, good.
Oh, is that Friday, is that here?
Friday, that's here. That'll be in
Okay.
the boardroom, will be the
Okay.
taste testing. Yep.
I'm glad you asked that, because I'm.
Yep. And Miracle, is there anything that you want to add to about that process?
No.
Okay, okay.
I'd like to ask him a question.
Oh, sure.
How did we, or do we have 3 companies that,
We're still taking bids. Right now, we've had 2 turn in so far. We believe we'll have up to 2 more. And so if we have all 4, we've got presentations for those that have submitted. We'll have presentations from each of those. I think, Miracle, they're hour presentations is what we've set aside.
Roughly 40 minutes for them to meet in the conference room, and then all the taste testings will be set up in the main boardroom, but the individual meetings will be in the large conference room.
And what we've done is that we have created a committee that includes the principal of the year, teacher of the year. Help me out, Miracle.
The high school principal, coordinated school health supervisor, nutrition, finance, and superintendent.
That will listen to those presentations and then bring before you all a recommendation.
Good.
Okay?
Yep.
And so with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Mason, I appreciate it. Let me go ahead, and I did not realize our mayor is here. We want to welcome him to our school board meeting. Welcome, Mayor. Thank you for coming. All right, let's move on to general council report. Ms. Beekman. Thank you, Ms. Beekman. Financial report, Ms. Roberts?
Good evening. For the financial report as of March 2019, excuse me. General fund revenues of $35.2 million, expenditures of $28 million. The nutrition fund revenues $916,725 and expenditures of $775,215. Federal and discretionary grants revenue $1,465,356 and expenditures $1,468,549. The CIP fund revenues $612,530, expenditures $2,003,384. There is no interlocal health benefits plan trust report that was available for March. That concludes the financial report.
Thank you, Ms. Roberts. We'll move on to our reports. TLN report.
I think he
I
said
think
that
he
he
sent it.
attached it.
Okay, okay.
Is
All
it-
right.
There's a hard copy at each of your.
Oh, great.
At each of your
So
stations.
if you have any questions, you can ask, Dr. Bianchi. That'd be great. Thank you. Consent agenda, is there a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Mr. Lamar and seconded by Ms. Fletcher. All those in favor? Oh, any discussion? Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Ayes have it, the motion carried. All right, Superintendent Mason, if you would, please lead us through
Can I
our.
ask one, let
Oh,
me ask
yes.
a question really quick.
Sure.
The only thing that I had a question about, and I actually hit the general counsel with it earlier, was on the graduation policy. So my only question was, in adding the ACT requirement, is that anybody, even if they're not gonna go on to a four-year college, they have to take the ACT? Is
Yes,
that what
and
that's saying?
Yes, and that's been state law for a while. We just
Okay.
didn't have it in the policy. It's a state law
Okay.
that all juniors must take the ACT.
Just have to take it?
Have to
regardless?
take it.
Got it,
Have to
okay.
take it in order to graduate.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, we'll move on to budget amendments, Superintendent Mason, and also our business action items.
Ms. Roberts, I will turn this over to you. Item 8A, Resolution 2019-11.
These are our monthly budget transfers. This one will not go to the town like the one that we had last month. This is just some cleanup, and we'll probably have one more next month that'll do some final cleanup with some of our salaries and benefits. So this is just transferring between those accounts as well as with the federal grants and discretionary grants. And then the one in the private purpose trust, we had a little bit more retirees payments, so that's what the transfer is for there.
And with that, it's my recommendation to approve Resolution 2019-11.
All right, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So
I
move.
so move.
All right, it's been moved by Ms. Fletcher and seconded by Mr. Benjamin. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion's carried.
Our next item on the agenda, item 9A, approval of the 2019-20 schools budget. We did have individual meetings with each board member, and then we had a work session, I guess it was 2 weeks ago,
Right.
And so with that, we'll take any other questions that there may be. Otherwise, it is my recommendation for approval of the 19-20 school budget.
All right, let's get the motion on the floor. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Benjamin, seconded by Ms. Fletcher. Is there any discussion, any questions?
One question, I noticed, I think it's like $600 and something thousand to clean up the schools or the maintenance or whatever. And that we signed a contract for about $52,000 a month
Yes.
for next year.
Well, that's on the agenda, item C, 9C. So if the board approves 9C tonight, then yes,
Okay.
we'll be continuing the same company.
Does that increase on a basis of something? Each year that they got 2%, how do we pay them? Or is it the same from last year?
It's not the same. There was a slight increase this year. This is the first year that we've had that increase. I'll defer to Ms. Beekman.
Yeah, there's a contractual provision that it can't exceed a certain amount.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we do have some control, they just couldn't raise it 9% or something like
Yes.
that. But it's a gradual increase, obviously, for,
Yes, sir, of course, we also had the option not to renew at all, but, so,
Right.
but that would what would be involved in that is putting out a whole other RFP and,
So we're satisfied with the company we're using?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Next item?
The next item, item 9B, is approval of the IDA and SF federal funds for the 1920 allocations. You did see these allocations in the budget that you just approved as well. These are federal funds, and so with that is my recommendation for approval.
All right, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Mendry, seconded by Ms. Fletcher. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion's carried.
The next item, item 9C, Mr. Lamar, this is the contract that you're referring to. It is the recommendation to approve the extension as accounted for in our current contract. You'll see the total amount, $630,091.08, which comes out to $52,507.59 per month. That will start June 1, 2019, and go through June 30th, 2020. And that's for all sites.
All right, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
I need a second.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Benjamin and seconded by Ms. Fletcher. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion's carried. Next item.
The last item on our agenda, and I've had the opportunity to talk to each of you individually except for Ms. Fletcher as she was cruising last week.
Yeah, we won't talk about it.
Heard that.
On this is the approval of amendment to the 5-year capital plan, improvement plan. Each of you hopefully was able to glance at the item that we are proposing that we remove from the capital plan. I do have Mr. Ruff here. The item is the football stadium bleacher enclosure. Also with that, you will see a change order that is low over $40,000. And our initial intention of this was to enclose the football bleachers to allow for storage underneath that to protect anything that may be there, and also for any unsightly items, also for safety issues. Due to fire regulations and fire code, we are not able to completely enclose that, so the sides would have to be open. The chief said that we could put up a chain link fence on each side if we so wanted to, which kind of defeats the purpose of enclosing that and making those items private, allowing for storage for the different booster clubs. With that change also, you will see from the change order would increase the cost over $40,000, which would take that project up to over $170,000 and not achieve what our intention was. So with that, it is my recommendation to remove that project from our capital improvement plan. Also, I do want the board to know that there has been some costs already incurred with the construction company as they've been doing some work. That total cost is right at $13,944.64 that we would still have to pay. But when we offset that with the $40,000 additional cost, I think we're still coming out ahead and not moving forward with that project. So that is my recommendation. I'll be happy to take any questions, or Mr. Ruff's here to take questions as well.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the motion. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Second.
All right, Ms. Fletcher. It's been moved by Ms. Fletcher and seconded by Mr. Benjamin. Any discussion or questions?
Yeah, the only question I had was, are we gonna try to do anything, I know we briefly spoke about it, are we gonna try to do any type of facade that will help just look of it, or are we just gonna leave it open?
Right now, our plan is to leave it open. We
Okay.
can continue to look for different options, and it depends upon what the goal of that is. If
Sure.
we just want to have the back of it, you know, have something up where it says Tigers, or it more be a visual impact versus an enclosure, then I think we could do that for a lot cheaper than $150,000.
Right.
And so, you know, whatever the board's will is on that, if you would like for us to look at something and research that, we'll certainly do that.
You know, and because of the fire marshal, I mean,
Yeah.
I can certainly understand why we can't do that, and then the price tag going up so much. Certainly agree with that, too.
I like the idea of enclosing it with something I like the idea of it being a billboard, some type of something. I know we used banners this last year and sold banners for that,
Yeah.
which was nice.
Yeah.
But to enclose it with something would be nice. I don't think it's it's not anything we have to do, but if there's an option for us that we can do it somewhat inexpensively, it'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, I would like for you to look for something to make it look good, if you could.
For the backside of,
The
we'll do
backside
that,
of it.
we'll do that over the next few months. And, I do wanna say that, the fire chiefs went out of their way, they went and visited Christian Brothers, and theirs is completely enclosed, but they did theirs 22 years ago when fire code was different. And, they went out to Houston, they said everybody got all upset when they saw the firemen come in and said, wait, we don't have jurisdiction, we're from Arlington. But, so they did do their due diligence in trying to work with us on what we were wanting to accomplish. And so maybe it sounds like we go back to the drawing board and see what the other options are out there that doesn't have that kind of price tag on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we still have a security issue because it's still open of the purpose we want to enclose it anyway?
It's still open, that's always gonna be an issue if it's not completely enclosed. I mean, that's always gonna be there. We do have personnel that's outside that gate, and we do rope it off.
Right.
But it's not what we want.
Yeah.
And so the fire issue was that they were afraid people could still get in there and not get out if there was some weird fire.
It
in there. Is
was,
that what
Tim,
it
do you
was?
wanna take that?
Yeah, it was, the bigger concern, Mr. Benjamin, was if they had a situation where someone was to throw something under the bleachers, cause some kind of a smoke, some kind of a noise that might affect the crowd above. They wanted to make sure that there was no disruption and they couldn't see what was going on underneath there. That was the
Interesting.
And plus, also, Arlington has an ordinance that anything over 5,000 square feet technically should be sprinkled. There was two things that were decided with it.
Interesting.
Oh, it is interesting.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right, any
That may
other-
defeat the whole purpose of
There's some
even
challenges.
doing something
There's
else
just some
with it.
challenges
Yeah,
with
for
it,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, good,
Big
thank you.
time, yeah. Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, the motion's carried. We are ready to adjourn.
I so moved.
Second.
Okay.
All right, it's been moved, may I back up just a little bit
You
here?
can.
I
Yeah, go
apologize to
ahead.
both
I'll
of
take it
you.
back.
Mr. Lamar wanted to make a quick announcement before we adjourn. Thank you, Mr.
I already
Lamar.
got two announcements.
Oh, he's got two.
The Memorial Day services at 9 o'clock at the cemetery, Memorial Day morning from 9 till 10. And then brunch, a free brunch in the Arlington Church of Christ Fellowship Hall, free brunch after
9
then.
to
The
10.
speaker is Mr. James Lindsay, who's the director of the West Tennessee Veteran Cemetery, where we have 18,000 veterans buried there. He runs that facility. He's a former Baptist preacher, he's a very enthusiastic speaker. So bring your lawn chairs and come out.
And that's 9 to 10, Mr. Lamar?
9 to 10. Lasts about an hour, under the oak tree. The second thing is I've talked with Mr. Russell Newbill, who's the new teacher in the junior ROTC. On May the 29th at 12:30, we're having a veterans luncheon, strictly for veterans. And it's an informational thing that I've set up for that day at 12:30, a free lunch. We're going to have about 50 Arlington veterans there. And Mr. Newbill is going to tell us about the program, and I've already talked with him. And we are going to support him in any way we can as veterans, and anything he needs from us, we're going to supply. I don't know what that is. He doesn't know what that is. But I'm here to tell him that day he's going to make about 2 or 3 minute talk about the program to the 50 veterans that are there. And then should be a good day for Arlington veterans. So I'm happy that he's coming, and we're just going to support this man a lot. So,
Thank you, Mr. Lamar. Appreciate it. Well, I apologize for almost forgetting about that. That's very, very important. Let me go again. Let's try again do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Ms. Fletcher, seconded by Mr. Benjamin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the meeting is adjourned.